Hey guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, welcome back, and I appreciate the support. Guys, I want to get deep into this case, and before I get in there, let me shout somebody out. And brother, I can't remember your name. I'm bad with names. Somebody last night offered a video I made about the 6th officer being his name being released to the public. Somebody left me a comment saying, "Hey Steve, I heard that this was supposedly part of a love triangle or somewhere along the lines where it was a woman involved between Tyre Nichols and Demetrius Haley." And I dismissed it in the comments saying, "Hey, I don't believe that." But the brother that sent me that comment, it had me thinking today, and I did some digging. And I came up with something that's pretty interesting. And I just want to run this by you guys. Not saying it's true or not, but it seems like this may be a possibility. So, brother, bringing that up, it sparked me to think. And that's why I appreciate you guys giving comments, because sometimes you might think it's nothing that you say, but it might be something to get somebody to think. And, you know, as a community, you know, us talking and, you know, doing what we do, as far as, you know, me being a content creator, putting videos out, you know, and you guys commenting on them, sometimes it creates an awakening, such as the case with this. So I appreciate you doing this, you know, sending that comment. But listen, I'm sorry. It's a lot of stuff wrong with this case. And it's a lot of stuff that's weird in this case. And it's like, you know, we only see what they give us. And we only know what they tell us. But I mean, common sense, sometimes you can fill in the cracks. And then it's a lot of mysteries into this case. And I want to go over some of these mysteries, and I want to bring some new people to the table that may be a part of it, or I think are a part of it. So we'll go back to the video real quick, and I'm going to just run this down because we talked about this over and over again, but there's a couple of things nobody's really talking about, right? Yeah, they caught Tyre, right? And they got 5 people up there. But in the video, you see 3 people beating him up in the second video. The one that's the main one where he was really messed up, right? We'll go with the first video first. First video has Hempfield, the 6th officer, the white dude, all this other stuff, right? In the video, right, Hempfield's the one that called for backup, where he called the Scorpion team or whatever, and said he's the one that said, "I hope they stomp his ass." He's the one that tasered the dude, you know, tasered Tyre. Tyre got up and ran out of there. Luckily, he escaped with his life. 2 of those black dudes in there, depending on which video you look at, is a part in there where they're both going off on him, punching him. This is, you know, before he got pepper sprayed. Because he's all over the floor, all over the ground. You know, he's near the car, and then he's like in the middle of the street. He's pleading for his life. Shut the F up. They're talking crazy to him. Very unprofessional. Those are 2 of those 5. Right? Now, they played their body cams up close on Tyre, because it just sounded like they were being forceful police officers doing police procedure, even though they were cursing and acting unprofessional. They let that get out. Now, you always got to remember, all these body cams got sound on them. They all got sound. Tyre gets up and leaves. We'll just leave that part alone. But in that one part, they was like, "Is that him? Is that him? Is this him?" They were looking for somebody, right? Why would they be looking for this boy? If you look at his whole bio and his whole, the way he acts, and this guy ain't got no hood in him whatsoever. So that right there is strange. But anyway, let's get to the second video. When you get to the second video, I want you to watch closely. The second video starts with him caught already. How come it doesn't show him walking down the street and then, because he's already surrounded by cars. Why didn't it show him running and then getting caught? That's one part that I look at is like, that's suspect. And he's already on the ground, right? He's on the ground. They got him on the ground already, but they're holding him at first. They're not really doing nothing with him. They're holding him, right? Like they're holding him, waiting for somebody. If you look close at the black car, that's facing the same way as the camera, like, you know, lengthwise of the camera, you'll see somebody in the back, you know, in the shadow, putting a mask on their face. That's Demetrius Haley. Demetrius Haley come around the corner with the mask on. You gotta watch it closely. When he's on the ground, he kicks him in the face multiple times. Then he takes the mask and puts the mask up. But watch this. Before he puts the mask on, before he takes the mask off and he kicks him a couple times, he's in his face saying something to him. And he's pointing, he's saying something. The other dudes are saying something to him when he's on the ground before he gets kicked in the face and they do him dirty. That let me know this wasn't a routine traffic stop and they either thought he was somebody or he was who they was looking for, because there was a lot of shit talking. And I told you, I said when that second audio, they don't let you hear it. And I don't even think they let the parents hear it. I think they fabricated this whole situation. Now the videos are real, but they chopped it up, like taking the sound off and all this other stuff, because they already got a lawsuit. And that makes it even worse. Now watch this. What they said, like I said, what they said to him was, I don't know, nobody knows what was being said, and that's why they was arrested so quick. That's why they had arrested him. As he's on the ground and he pointing to him and all this stuff, and he takes the mask off after he fucks him up, and they start beating the boy up, right? Like really giving it to him. When they're done, and everybody's talking and going all about their business and all this stuff, talking about it, look at the lies they told. That's why that he was, first they said he was reckless driving. Then they said he was going the wrong way on the road. How was he going the wrong way on the road when you stopped him? It's a witness car over there. If you really look, when the camera's moving around, the body cam moving around, sitting over there looking like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And when he ran, the cars was facing this way and he was on the right side of the road. That's one thing. Listen, it's a lot to this story. It all has something to do with that audio when they had him on the ground, beating him and stuff that nobody knows about. I think that audio is what got them locked up, because these two cops that was fighting on him was calling him nigger and all this other stuff. I'll break your arm, shut the fuck up, you know, just the normal stuff. But them three, they was probably boys with Demetrius Haley. Those was his people. They all was his friends probably, but them two was his boys, because they was fighting on the boy too. You know, like it's as if like you catch somebody that you caught stealing, and like two of the people that really he didn't steal from, but they know about the story, they grab you and they punish you before he come. Because police don't work like that. I mean, not saying they don't work like that, but like normally with police, they might bust you up a couple of times or something like that, and then you know they'll put the handcuffs on you. At no given time, when he was on the ground, and hear me good on this, people, no given time when he was on the ground, he was already like this. When the camera first started, look, he's already like this. He's already ready to get the handcuffs. He must have been tired from running. So they could have handcuffed him and picked him up. You see what I'm saying? And then the thing is, when he's getting hit in the face with the thing, at what point was it to put the handcuffs on him? If you was trying to apprehend him, you could have did that. He was tired and all this other stuff. Ain't no reason to pick him up and walk around with him. But like I said, it all comes down to that audio that was on their body cams that nobody's showing. They're not even showing the body cams. And all of them supposed to have their body cams on. Now, let's get out of that. Like I said before, somebody brought up a love triangle. Let's get deep into this. Before I get deep in that, because that's the end of it. Before I get deep in that, let me just say this real quick. Look at the charges they was brought up in. This is another thing that makes me think they knew him or he was the target. Amongst the charges they had was murder, second degree. We all know about that. But the key charge that made me scratch my head was aggravated kidnapping. According to Tennessee law, and I wrote this down, Tennessee law defines kidnapping as knowingly abducting or confining someone in a manner that interferes with their liberty and exposes them to substantial risk of injury. That right there lets me know, why would they be charged with that? Kidnapping. Like we're gonna grab him, confine him, and hold him. See, that first stop, they was trying to grab him, get him arrest him, take him to Demetrius. They were trying to do that. That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to take him to Demetrius Haley. So him being beat down and all that stuff, I think this is a classic example of how they be doing in hoods sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I know all about it. They'll grab you, take you somewhere, beat the shit out of you, and leave you dead. And then a homicide come over, it's a murder. You know, somebody beat this boy to death. That's what they was trying to do with him. Luckily, he took off and ran. When he was on that public street, all they could do was fuck him up real bad because his house is there. You know what I mean? Try to beat him to death. So they got their shit off as much as they could get off and then put him up against the car. Let him suffer. Why would you have a kidnapping charge on somebody that wasn't even taken into custody? You see what I'm saying? The reason why I think that is when they interrogated them, all of their stories was different. But it all came back to Demetrius. And when they asked Demetrius, you know, police are, hey, they got friends in the force, maybe the chief of police, because I think she need to go too. What happened? What's going on? What really happened? You know how they interrogate you? And he told, oh, something with a chick in it. And that's what I think blew the whole case up. And that's why I think the fat white dude, Hempfield, is not locked up. Because when Hempfield got there, they was already dancing around with him and acting like he was too strong for them to put down when Hempfield and stuff was doing what they was doing with him. So there was kind of like some trickery, like he's so heavy and he's so strong moving around. We can't get him on the ground. Man, please. But listen, guys. Now I'm going to get to this last part and why I think this gentleman that sent me that comment may be right. This woman right here is name is Tanisha Jeffrey. She has had a relationship with both Tyre Nichols and Demetrius Haley, as she's a on and off girlfriend with him. In the picture where they showed Tyre holding a baby up, a baby boy years ago, I honestly believe that that's her baby because it was a picture on her Facebook that she has taken off. And I've seen the picture. You know, it's 5 children and it's a little boy on the right side, not the left side of the picture. And it looks exactly like the baby he was holding. Now, you know, you can't say, oh, little baby. I'm not talking about the facial people, but it looks just like the baby. I think that baby was Tyre Nichols' baby. And I think Demetrius Haley was messing with her. And you know how it is with dealing with baby mama sometimes. A dude just might not like you. Or it might be an issue where something going on with the kids and it involves the fathers. I think Demetrius Haley used the Metro PD database because he had an issue with this boy being involved in the life of that girl. And he used that database to get all the information of this boy, what he needed to get. He put an APB out on him. They hunted him down and did him the way they did him. And I mean, it sounds far-fetched, but I'm telling you, all of this stuff points. Look at this. He was beaten on January 7th, right? He died January 12th. Look at this post on Tanisha Jeffrey page. Now, you can take whatever you want to take from that. Think about that. They didn't get arrested until January 20th. Look at the date. January 20th. I mean, they didn't get fired until January 20th. And that was an open post she made. And then they got fired on January 20th. Demetrius Haley got fired on January 20th. And then he got arrested on January 26th. Look at the date of that post. He died on the 10th. Look at the date. I don't know what to say about it. I mean, you guys can take with it what you will, but I'm just putting stuff out there that looks like it's funny, right? All in all, this whole thing is messed up. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna tell you this, and I forgot to add this in another video yesterday. The Hempfield character, I think he ran up there, and the reason why they put him on, whatever duty they put him on, where they made him step down off his position because he could be sitting in the office right now doing desk work. Because relieved of your position just means you're not out there on the street. you know, that position of a police officer, he might still be going to work. I honestly think that these 5 dudes' case is a little different than his. He was just there and he saw them struggling and he went in there and started doing everything he could off the reaction of them. That's why they protecting him. That's why they protecting him. And if anything, they're going to use him as a witness against them in court. Somebody tell me I'm lying. That's what I think gonna happen. That's what I think's gonna happen. These dudes was his boys. 2 of them found him. One snatched him out the car. This him. We had all the, they had pictures of him, what he looked like, and all this. They already had a visual of what they thought, you know, of who he was. And before they fucked him up, they had to make sure it was him. They was trying to beat the shit out of him, you know, handcuff him and take him to Demetrius and the Scorpion team for them to handle business on him. But he ran, they wound up calling, and he still ran into the same fate. Guys, take what you will, but this thing is sad, man. I think, yeah, they were police, but as far as like the Memphis PD, it wasn't really them. Like, you know, yeah, they were in uniform, but they was doing some nigga shit while in uniform. And they ain't gonna let you hear that audio of when what's the name put the mask on, because they were holding him there. Now, they was holding him there while he, hold up, he putting the mask on. And that's why I think all that stuff, all the audio from them cams of him getting beat tells the whole damn story. And that's why they're like, hey, you know, and I think Demetrius Haley told on himself, and they're keeping it hush in the department because number 1, it's an embarrassment. And number 2, he already had felonies already. You know what I mean? They're already under scrutiny. Memphis PD been under scrutiny for years. This is a bad look for them. And they're trying to just take as much as they can off the table, or as much weight off their backs as they can, because the burden's heavy enough because it happened in their department. But guys, man, leave me a comment, man. Give me a thumbs up if you think I got something here. But god damn, man. Over nothing. Nothing. As always, guys, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video, man.